So, we begin with the rocking sensation of one of the various engineered cable cars making its way, dangling from one of the many cables that connects the 5 different spires of Drusar. As the two of you now ride up within, just the two of you for now, the rest of the interior appears to be empty at the moment. But as you coast along the way, it's shifting and rocking, the small windows outside giving you a beautiful view of the jungle mists that are just beginning to slowly return after being burned away by most of the midday sun. You glance at each other as you head and climb towards the Airy Spire. To that point, Laura, if you'd like to describe your character.
Oh gosh. Well, all right. Oh gosh, okay. I'm a young lady with long, light purple hair, a yellow scarf around my neck. I look a little bit, maybe shy, like I'm trying to hide myself from other people. A light blue dress. Just keeping myself tucked back a little bit. And looking mildly uncomfortable as we rattle along. I'm gonna just kind of hold on to your arm, Laudna, if that's all right.
You feeling okay? Little sick?
I just, I never get used to these things.
Human, correct?
I am a human. Yes.
Now, Marisha, if you would like to describe yourself.
Oh boy, all right. Oh, goodness. Don't fuck this up. You see a also youngish looking woman, not as young as Imogen over here. Long, scraggly, dark hair with a shock of white going through the top of her bangs. She has it pulled back into a half-up bun with a rock chisel holding it up. Her skin is pale and her eyes are big, a little bulbous with dilated pupils, almost doll-like. Her lips are dark and she's wearing tattered, scraggly clothes, a black skirt and a blood maroon blouse. You can see she's very thin, gaunt, and around her belt, with some tools and odds and ends, is a dead rat with a bird skull I made of myself.
Gross.
Hi.
Ashton. Your eyes flutter open. The air, familiarly stale. You slightly feel the hint of a hangover, but as you kind of rub your eyes and sit up, you are on your standard sleeping cot here in the Crook House, surrounded by what would be considered destitute interior by anyone of means, but to you, it's colorful and it's fun. A lot of cobbled together, half-torn tapestries and colorful strings of gems and beads of no worth that give a character to it. The place has a very vibrant, whatever you find at the bottom of the gutter and polish off feel to it. But here in the Crook House, it's home. You're not sure what time it is. It could be 4 in the morning. It could be 4 in the afternoon. No light makes its way down here. It's kind of the odd nature of being here in the Fauncy Hollow in the center of the core spire. This empty cylindrical space that resides in the central area of the core spire where many of the folk go to disappear. Disappear intentionally, to be away from the streets and find community amongst the others who don't want to engage too heavily with society for all of its good and bad. The inside of the hollow itself is this hundreds and hundreds of feet of climbing ladders and walkways and rafters and just a mass collection of odd pieces of bamboo and metal and wood and cables that are strung together to create a network of climbable space to reach any of the numerous tunnels that exit from the center of the spire out to the many streets. People come here to be forgotten, or people are thrown here to be forgotten. But you call it home. If you'd like to describe yourself, Ashton.
Ashton, they are an earth genasi with green stone skin and a dark purple crystal hair on the shorter end of things. They're wearing an awful lot of leather that looks like they've been wearing it for a very, very long time with red fabric lining it. They've got leather pouches, a bit of everything to keep little bits and pieces together. Some piercings made mostly of nails, and very obviously a giant hole in the left side of their head that has been filled with slag glass, and beneath the slag glass there's a little bit of an opalescent brain that can be seen through. One of the eyes on the cracked side is milky like a tiger's eye gem. The cracks run most of the upper left side of the body and have been patched together with what looks like slag melted gold to piece everything together. They also have on the back of their very hand-decorated jacket the words, "Just don't." And a big glass hammer that they carry around that very, very gently, just around the base of it, says, "Fuck off." So that's Ashton.
As you stir for a moment and kind of sit up in your bearings, a familiar voice goes, "So when are you going to wake up? You're being lazy." So you hear Milo from around the corner.
Fuck off. What time is it?
It's afternoon.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
To this point, you begin to take in the smell of some sort of cooking meat that's filled the room a bit. And as you push past the hanging lantern to your left and what looks like a kind of a makeshift and a cloth bed that dangles between two portions of the room, you can see on the work shelf to one side and the kind of metal iron skillet placed upon a little heated device that Milo has created. You see Milo. Now, Milo, to bring this over here. For
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm trying to make sure everything. So he's a non-binary human, kind of early 20s. He's like funny beige skin, large glasses, and a knitted cap. And they're in the process of cooking up some food. And said, as soon as you're ready, there'll be food. It's almost done.
Oh, that's fucking brilliant. Shit.
Scrapes it off onto a piece of sheet metal, kind of puts a couple small bolts off and kind of places them back in a shelf that they keep.
Could have used that. That's okay. Have you seen fresh cut grass around?
You motherfucker. Hey! Letters! As you are just kind of milling about, taking in the space, impatient for anything to happen, but not quite ready to do anything on your own, you hear Milo shout out and the rousing sounds of Ashton around the corner. If you would like to describe yourself.
Sure. Wheeling into the room is a short automaton with yellow metallic skin, a cute little backpack. They has two big blue eyes of different shapes. He's got a wheel that he rolls around on. On his chest plate are four stripes that sort of look like blades of grass down his chest plate, and he's a robot. And as he wheels into the room, well, smiley day there, Ashton. How you doing? How was your stasis? I've been sort of waiting here on standby, waiting for your designation. Are you almost almost ready to go?
The stasis was short. Protein is incoming. Protein is incoming, right?
Protein is ready. As they hand it over to you. The three of you have been set on a trek, specifically tied to the Erishari, when a call was made to you after returning to Byroden with the rest of your found friends. You were given a task by the voice of the Tempest, Keyleth. And as part of this journey,
Wait, what?
you were told to bring 2 friends along the way. At least 2 could be helpful with this. Opal had to stay behind, still figuring out kind of where she stood both with her sister and the newfound vestige that lies upon her head. And Dariax wanted to keep an eye and be there to support and help her figure out what the next step was to be, while the 2 of you were asked to attend Orym's side for this. With that, Keyleth transitioned you via tree to Amon to bypass the challenging mess you had left behind in
What
some
on
of the
earth
streets
do you
of-
mean?
And enough money to afford yourselves a skyship across the Osmid Sea.
Like that they own or rented?
No, a one-way passage on a skyship.
It's mine.
Now, as you come towards the end of this multi-day journey, the 3 of you glance past the edge of the skyship, kind of holding on to the far railing as the clouds and mist begin to dissipate beyond the front of the ship. As you look past the bow, you can see, beginning to emerge from the clouds and mist below, the 5 different heights of the rocky spires that mark Drusar.
This is lovely. They're so pointy. Are they pointy?
One of them is.
One of them is so pointy.
Now, for those who have not watched Exandria Unlimited, Ashley, would you mind describing Fearne?
Yes. Fearne is about a 6-foot-tall faun. Very, very long seafoam green hair, and is just covered in all bits and baubles and lots of flowers and toadstools and moss on her hooves. And she has a little friend, Mister, and he's a little monkey. That's all.
Are you drunk right now? Or is this
Always.
it? Okay.
Glancing over the side and spilling your excitement out to Orym, if you wouldn't mind, Liam, describing yourself.
Sure. Orym is a halfling. He's 3 foot and change. Shock of short brown hair. And he's wearing a little bit of brown leather armor, mostly a breastplate. And he's leather boots that have round green stone rings that are laced into the shin guard of each one. He has a short sword sheathed on his back, an ivy-adorned shield on one hand, and the armor and the very well-worn sashes that are tied around his waist and hanging down have woven patterns of ivy and flower on them, and they're beautiful, but they're not fancy. They're just well-made and well-worn. And he has a full-sleeve tattoo going up his arm that is all clouds from the wrist all the way up onto his shoulder and then disappearing under his armor onto his chest. And the 2 moons of Exandria are right here. Catha is a white crescent and Ruidus is a smaller full moon cradled within. And he is very fine features. He's really ropey muscles and slender, like a dancer.
Okay. Glancing past the edge of this wonderful vista before you as the city grows closer, this is the first journey any of you have taken in this guy's ship, but it's certainly not the first time that you've been here, Dorian. This is an odd, if conflicted, return to a continent where you began your journey a long time ago. If you wouldn't mind describing Dorian.
Sure. Dorian is, for all intents and purposes, a normal bard. He's just in traveler's clothes. But if you were to first glance at him, what you would notice is how uncharacteristically clean he is. No mud on his boots. He has a large winged sort of armor plate that you can't really tell if it's ornamental or functional, and there's not a fingerprint on it. It's perfectly shined. And he's wearing a long cape that has sort of a sunburst ombre that goes down the back. He's an Genasi, so he sort of moves with a lightness, and you might first mistake it for confidence, but it just seems like it's part of who he is and not so much what he wants to project. And he has long black hair that goes down into a white ombre, and he's got sort of a top knot man bun here, also very pristine. Yeah, as he sort of looks out over things, he feels comfortable in the sky, but this is a wild experience. Yeah, and he's enjoying it a lot.
Another figure seems to be charging out from inside of the inn that you both have been coming from, shouting out into the fray. Travis, if you wouldn't mind.
Still God.
Let's go.
Get in here.
Let us go.
So, how do you enter, and if you wouldn't mind describing yourself?
Yes, for the good of Dressar, I will enter the fray with you. And you see a gentleman in his late 70s, early 80s, with beautiful silver-trimmed facial hair, a good receding hairline going, and a nice ponytail pulled tight in the back.
Is it cool, Grandpa?
Nice purple refinery, a nice coiffed collar, and some burnt orange underneath. And he has a very elegant-looking walking stick in his hand, as well as a very beautiful-looking rapier on the other.
It's because he's dignified, not because he needs the stick.
You're right. This is terribly rude of me. I was just so excited seeing you all. My name is Sir Bertrand Bell. It's a pleasure to meet all of you.
You're
a knight?
Are you a noble?
Not a noble. A knight is generous, but it was a title bestowed upon me, and I didn't shoo it away.
The streets, this part, are starting to get a little busy. People you can see crossing the path. There's a shadow at the edge of the end of the alleyway. Like a figure kind of leaning against the wall.
Same figures.
Does it look familiar to Orym and I?
Make a perception check, both of you guys.
Yeah, 25.
17.
17. You both glance past, and though it is mostly in shadow, with just a little bit of rim lighting from the moon that is coming through from the main street, no, this is not the figure you saw. This is a humanoid figure, but much smaller. Maybe about Orym size, even shorter. You see a faint hunch to it as it just kind of sits there, arms crossed, waiting.
I don't trust it.
Can I send out a message to it? Ooh, was that
If you'd
stupid?
like to, you can see it.
Do you need something?
Travis, you want to come to the table?
What's happening? He just died! And he was trolling us on text all night!
Thank God, he finally stopped texting us.
I know, I was like, where'd he go? No more screen grab.
If you'd like to ask the question once more to the target of your message.
I don't even remember what I said.
Do you want
you want
something?
Need something, want something?
You want something?
Who is that? Oh, no. Who's speaking, please?
It's oh no.
Oh, no.
And I just wave over here.
How are you doing that?
The same way you're doing it to me. Mind powers.
That's nifty.
No, but are you gonna? I just walk over to him.
Imogen?
I'll jog along.
Who's that? Do you know that?
This old guy.
I'd like power walk next to Imogen.
If you would like to describe yourself, Travis.
Yeah. You see, post up against the wall, cloak and hood pulled over his head. You see tufts of silvery gray hair shooting out over his ears. Some silvery gray hair shooting out of his ears. And a nice little knit beanie cap pulled tight with little ear straps. He's got a leather chest harness and some pretty muscly, sinewed arms, along with some looks to be woodworking tools from his hips and waist, and some nicely pointy-toed boots.
What's his lineage?
He's a gnome. He's a gnome.
Roughly what age is he, from a visual perspective?
Oh, probably somewhere around 100, 120, 100-something years old.
What kind of height are we talking about?
I'm short, motherfucker.
Shorter than me? I'm 3'3". Where you at?
I think I got you by an inch or so. Oh. I'm looking down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're taller.
Taller?
Than him.
I think so. I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I might be on my tippy toes. Gotta put out a different vibe for these strangers.
That's where it lifts. Like just shoes with a quarter
I'm up against the walls of the heels. I just
Dutch
lift them up
claws.
and then rest them against the back, so my calves don't cramp.
What? Who are you?
Who are you?
Are you one of the contractors? I see you have woodworking tools.
You know, I am. I like working with wood very much. No, I saw around the corner all of you handle whatever that was.
You decided to just stand there and not come help?
Well, fuck yes! That thing had tendrils, and all of a sudden you were there, and you whack got pulled in, and you got spit back out, and then he's fucking face down in the middle of the street.
Fair.
Do you do this regularly? Are you looking for work? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. Do you know a patron?
No, actually, I could use some help.
Oh, you need something.
Well, yes. I need help finding someone.
What's your name, friend?
My name is Chetney.
I'm sorry, say that again. It sounded like you said
Chetney. Chetney Pockapee is my name.
Pockapee?
Well,
Great name.
Thank you.
a little unusual.
On the tongue.
Who are you looking for?
A friend. I'm sort of new to Marquette, but I'm sort of all on my own now. It would be very, very helpful if you could help me locate him.
You hear in the back part of the alley, one of the creature's larger portions of its body just kind of sloughs forward onto the ground with a heavy impact, and the guards kind of rush back.
Get food and a nap first.
Why do I already want to roll an insight check? Because I don't.
Well, you're in my head. Shit, I should roll an inside check on you. Inside check! Yeah. Take a peek, see what you like.
Clearly, we're upsetting you, old timer. Are you okay?
Yeah. You're very kind. What's your name?
Fresh cut grass. Pleased to meet you.
The whole thing's your name?
Oh no, just the fresh cut grass part.
Oh, that's fantastic. What a fucking name. Yeah, I would actually love to come with you. That's all right. You all seem to be fairly... are they okay?
they're injured.
We're not okay, but we will. Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's a whole. That's a story that requires drink and games and sleep, and we have to sleep because I'm gonna fucking die.
Fire by spire, fire by spire,
Fire by spire.
fire by fire, fire spire, spire, fire.
Come to the.
Yeah, you
Come
hungry,
get a drink with
grandfather?
us if we can, you know,
That would be most
see what
kind.
you're about.
That would be very, very kind of you, yes.
Yeah. Whatever gets us there faster. Let's just go.
Go on for
You
dinner.
walk first. I don't want to trip on your booties.
And you see me just...
As the older gnomish odd companion begins to dart out into the night before you, as your tired, wounded, bruised selves follow suit to make your way towards the Spire by Fire. We're going to finish tonight's game there. We'll pick up there next week.
I can't
I don't know, we'll see. Maybe he doesn't mesh with the group. We have to find out.
It could also die in 3 episodes.
Yeah.
We don't know the plans. Anything goes in campaign 3.
Alrighty. Well,
Travis just is like a drummer for Spinal Tap.
Oh my god.
Such range.
oh my goodness.
Chetney with an N.
Excited to have you back, Travis.
pleasure to fucking be here.
It's gonna be Chet in about a week.
Yep. All right.
Love it.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful night. We'll see you next week. We love you very much. And is it Thursday yet?
Oh.
Good night.
Thursday.